Hey, I hope everybody's having a great evening. So I'm committed in this new year to definitely go live more because I definitely have a message of abundance to share. And if you agree with this message, like this message and share with the individuals around you because it's time for us to start redefining rich according to our own terms. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. I just want you to understand where I'm going. If you try to redefine rich, or if you try to define rich by other people's life and other people's standards, you're not going to ever be happy. If you wait for that perfect opportunity to live your life, if you wait to that perfect opportunity to be yourself, if you wait to that perfect chance and you stop coming up thought, if you keep coming up with reasons why you're not happy with where you are and what you have. Hey, Diane, Happy New Year. Then you're never going to live a rich life. Part of the reason you don't have the resources you need to live differently is because sometimes you don't value what you already have. It just doesn't take a whole lot to live rich, but you got to stop living according to other people's standards. I'm going to break that down. There are people who are historically rich. Louis Vuitton and his family, historically rich. Mercedes Benz and his family, historically rich. So if you're carrying a high price bag, but you're not happy with that with your life, did that bag make you rich? Or could you have taken that same money and went on a all expenses paid, all in inclusive vacation, came back with some memories and lived rich? You got to start placing a higher value on your own gifts, on your own talents, on your own ability to be rich, and stop separating yourself from rich. Stop saying things like rich people. You're rich people. Somebody type in, I'm rich people. Stop giving rich people your time and attention. Stop sitting up watching these celebrities on television, worried about what they have instead of putting a value on what you have. You have just as many gifts, just as many talents as anybody you spend on TV. And maybe if you spent more time cultivating those gifts, cultivating those talents, who knows what would happen in your bank account? Start shopping in different areas of town. Watch what I tell you. Drive all the way across town to what you consider to be the rich neighborhood and go to their grocery store. And what you're going to see is people that look just like you, that are different than you. They're not buying anything different than you. Stop separating yourself from rich. Stop coming up with reasons why. Oh, well, if I do this, I'll be rich. Start living like you're rich already. Somebody type that in. I'm rich already. When you start living, rich will start coming to you. I made the mistake of thinking that rich is a dollar figure. It's not. Rich is a way of life. You can eat rich by using a china plate and silverware. Nobody said you got to eat out of plastic containers. I don't care what the food is. Let me tell you something that people that you consider rich do. They go get takeout and then they put the takeout into a china container, a china serving dish. Rich is a mindset. If you can't get rich in your mind, you won't get rich anywhere else. Rich is the way you use your time. Rich is the way you spend your money to make yourself happy, not to impress other people. Is this making sense what I'm saying? Jeff Bezos, arguably one of the richest men in the world, drove an old Toyota up until about 7 years ago. You at the dealership trying to spend your last to impress somebody that doesn't even care about you. I know this may be hard for people to hear, but it is a real truth. You're trying to buy a Mercedes Benz, and the last I looked, Mercedes was on the list of the richest families in the world. They don't need your help. They don't need your help. If an alien was to come down today and you was to show him a Bentley and a Chrysler, he wouldn't know the difference. He's going to ask you, do they both move? Yes. About the same speed? Yes. Do they get you where you're going? Yes. At some point, you got to invest in day-to-day experiences. You got to, I have a new book coming out in January, and I'm going to be talking about it during my abundance planning session on Sunday. If you register for the session, you get the book for free when it comes out. It's called Live Rich Now. And it's just my encouragement to every single person to take every day as it comes, because who knows about tomorrow? And I don't want tomorrow to get here and you be sitting there wishing that you'd have done more with your time, wishing that you would have done more with your resources, wishing that you would have done more with your life. I want you to really challenge your idea of abundance in this season and understand that whatever you don't have is not because you don't have access. There's no such thing as people that have access. Sure, there are people that were born with more than, but we live in a day and age that if you really want to get it, you can go out there and get it. Or is it just easier to blame it on quote unquote rich people? But when you start putting yourself into the category of someone who is capable of abundance, someone who has abundance, someone whose abundance is their birthright, you start expecting things in your life. Change your environment, change your attitude, change the places you shop, change the places you hang out. Because rich is for everybody. Somebody type in, rich is for me. Rich is for everybody. Anybody on this planet can go into any store and any dealership and buy whatever they want. Your data is what makes up your long-term abundance. Stop separating yourself from rich. And I mean it. Start thinking as if you're already rich, because rich people are not different. People with money are not different. They just made different choices. But you don't have to take the vacation of a lifetime. I don't care if you got to do it with 1,000,000 coupons. Look, okay, so let me give you an example. Everybody name one place you would go if you could afford it. Just name one place. Doesn't matter, in the country, out of the country. Name one place. You, if money were not an object. And so then let me tell you this. That one place that you would go if money were not an object You can go there now. Australia has an off season. Greece has an off season. There's some time during the year that those tickets are not as expensive as they normally are. There's sometimes where the tourists are not there like they normally are. When is the last time you even looked up a ticket? Do you even know what it would cost you? Stop separating yourself from rich. That should have been an aha moment for some of you. That should have been an epiphany. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in my new book. Where go register now for Sunday session. Get a copy of the book. Read the book. Put the book into practice. Level up your life. There's a million simple ways to live rich. T.ly/live rich 2023. It's 23 for the book right now. And you get access to the webinar on Sunday. But the first place you get rich is in your mindset. You get rich with experiences. You get rich with the way you live. When is the last time you went and said, I want to go here? And so, yeah, it may require your sacrifice, but it's something that people can't get back. You know, Tracy, I don't teach Dave Ramsey practices. I teach as much money as you humanly can. I teach that you have the gifts and talents to make millions of dollars if you so fit. But in this season, the Most High said, step back and explain to them who I am and that I've given you the power to create wealth. Deuteronomy 8 and 18. I teach Jesus principles. Jesus came so that you could not only have life, but life what? More abundantly. You know, Proverbs was the first people to tell you to be a good steward over your finance, not Dave Ramsey. At the end of the day, I really feel like any of us can afford anything if we make the right choices. And that's where I want us to be. For so long, we've limited ourselves, we've limited our revenue, we've limited our abundance. I was in my mentorship class tonight. And when you really start watching rich people, yes, I'll be going live first thing in the morning. When you really start watching rich people, what you'll realize is they're not much different than you. In fact, you're rich already. And in fact, they just make different choices. They hang out with people. They have an expectation. We expect to work hard and not have that much. They expect to work less and to have a lot. So at the end of the day, guess whose expectation is going to be met? I'm going to say that again. Taught to work hard. We were taught to work hard and just, hey, Stephen Mills. We were taught to work hard and just whatever we get, be happy with it. So today, I'm going to just challenge you to push the envelope on your abundance. I'm going to challenge you to look around and just really be honest about what you're not happy with, but don't stop there. What choices are you willing to make differently in order to live rich? Now that's the tough part right there. I used to feel guilty for making so much money. So much so that I was sabotaging myself from making money. And then I thought about it. I said, everybody has the power to generate revenue. Everybody can make money. Will they make the choices? Choice number one is to believe in yourself. Hey, Farron, Happy New Year. Choice number one, no, I'm gonna take that back. Choice number one is to believe that the Most High is who He says He is. That's choice number one. Do you believe in the gospel? Do you believe in abundance? Do you believe in your power to create wealth? Do you believe in your power to leave an inheritance for your children's children? Do you believe in what the Bible says about your unlimited riches? So that's number one. Do you believe? Do you believe in the word? Number two, do you believe in you? You who was created by a creator for greatness and for abundance and to have dominion. There's nothing or no one that has dominion over you. You have dominion over your abundance. You have dominion over your next level. It's time to stop playing small. And most of all, stop comparing yourself to people that don't have. And even more importantly, people that do have. I want to tell you a quick story, guys. Don't forget my new book is called Live Rich Now. If you go to bit.ly/Live Rich 2023, you'll get a copy of the book when it's released. But I want to invite you to an abundance planning session on Sunday because you don't have to wait to be happy. You don't have to wait to live rich. Rich and outside of the material realm. I didn't say absent of money. Don't nobody go say that the prophet was talking about don't make no money, because I'm not saying that. I'm saying it moves far beyond the material realm. If 5 people make $100,000 a year, and one person spends 1/4 of it on designer clothes and jewelry, and the other person spends 1/4 of it on making their home comfortable and taking a memorable trip, who's richer? Who's richer? Is this making sense to you? If I make $500,000 and I'm stressed out of my mind, and somebody else makes $200,000 and they get to spend every day with their family, who's richer? So it's time for you to redefine rich based on what you want out of your life and what is going to make you happy. Is this helping anybody? Because somebody else's standard for rich may not be what you need. Somebody else's standard for rich may not be what makes you happy. It's time for you to carve out what you want your life to look like. It's time for you to start putting your own measures of wealth in place. Again, I'm not saying don't go make a lot of money, but I'm saying you don't have to wait until you do to enjoy life. I'm not saying that that it's wrong for people to be rich, because it's not. It's a personal choice. And you got to ask yourself, what am I choosing? In order to elevate your mind, Sometimes you got to start to hang out in rich places. You got to start to see things differently. One thing I always do when we travel is I stay in big, rich houses because I want my mentees to understand that if this is the house they wanted, they can have it too. There is nothing off limits for you. But what is your blessing? What is your blessing? Every blessing is not for you. And sometimes, in the midst of chasing somebody else's blessing, we get confused, we get unhappy. You will see somebody quit their job, and instead of you transitioning and laying the footwork, you just go quit your job. Well, such and such did it. It's not your blessing. It's not your time. You need to redeem your abundance, your blessing. Stop just traveling with people to travel. Is it your dream trip? Or is this the life that you imagined yourself living when you were growing up? Is this the relationship that you really want to have? I want you to start, and let me tell you something. I know it's going to be extremely uncomfortable because the mass majority of people walk around sleep. We've let commercials and marketing and all of these other things brainwash us into something that's not a real life. We're doing things that we didn't even make a decision to really do. I'm going to go buy this purse because such and such got this purse. What is that purse to you? If it's not a competition, y'all, I promise it's not, because somebody going to go home unhappy. You're following somebody else and you don't even know what they've asked God for. Stop subscribing to other people's view on abundance. Stop following other people to their goals. Take the time. And that's what we're going to be doing Sunday night. Taking the time to identify what you want your life to look like. Go to bit.ly/liverich2023 when you register a copy of my new book being released this month. That's really about how to live rich now, how to beautify your everyday life. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait on money to be happy. You don't have to wait to be rich to be happy. There are things you can do to improve your everyday life. But baby, it all starts with every choice you make every day. That's abundance in relationships. That's abundance in health. That's abundance in all things. But everything you have or don't have is because of your choices. And only when you decide to start making different choices as to what to do with your time, making different choices as to who to follow, who to listen to, who to idolize. Don't fool around and look around and be living somebody else's dream. So I hope this helps somebody. You know, if you need help, definitely, I hope to see you Sunday night. I hope you get a copy of my new book. It's going to be amazing. But I think so many of us are waiting on something to be happy. And we just got to stop waiting on happy. We got to stop waiting on happy, and we got to start creating happy. We got to start creating fulfillment. We got to start creating gratitude. We got to start creating our level. We can't wait on anybody to do it for us. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody can define rich for you. You got to define it for yourself. Rich may not be a lot of money for you. Rich may be a paid off house somewhere on the beach, margaritas for tourists all day, every day. That may be your version of rich. No one can argue with it. Because if you're running around with the world's version of rich, you're going to end up with the world's results. And the majority of the world is broke. Just letting you know. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Just remember, you and only you and only you and only you can define your riches. You and only you have the tools and resources to go and manifest those riches, to bring those things into fruition. You and only you. And sometimes maybe it's not working because it's not yours to begin with. You've watched somebody else for so long. You've copied so many people for so long. You have lost sight of what your original goal was for your abundance, for your peace, for your happiness. I promise you, when you start measuring things on your term, you're going to start being happier. When you let go of what other people think about you, you're going to start being happier. When you let go of the criticisms of you, you're going to start being happier. Stop waiting on happy. Stop waiting on happy and go create your own happiness. Love you guys. Have a great evening. See you first thing in the morning.